I turned around, I was like, wait a minute, that's a pawpaw.
Let me see it. Open it up.
Oh, God.
Can you reach up there and get it?
No.
How about these ones? You get those? You get one?
Yep.
Get one more? That's okay. Put them. Is that fun, guys?
Yeah. This is the best day ever.
You just squeeze it and get all that.
I'll get
Hey, buddy. Come on. Don't get to see the good stuff, huh? Here, Noe. Well, hello, YouTube. I hope you guys are having an awesome day. As you guys saw in my last video, I got a whole bunch of new plants, and I was thinking about something. I show you guys pawpaws out in the wild and everything like that, but I'm sure a lot of you guys are wondering, do I even have them growing here on my property in the food forest? Well, it's a long story. It's a long story, and it's worth a video in itself, so here we go. I've got a weird love-hate relationship with growing pawpaw trees, and I've found it to be much easier to find large patches of pawpaws growing along rivers than it is to get pawpaws to grow where they're native to. It sounds weird. I know a lot of people in other places that have food forests, and my buddy Permaculture Homestead, he's got a couple pawpaws that look absolutely beautiful. Definitely go check out his channel. Even James Prigioni, his neighbor's got a couple nice pawpaws even too up in New Jersey. And but what's funny about this is right at the top, straight, if you follow this camera straight this way up over the hill, there's actually a pawpaw patch on top of a hill surrounded by pasture, which is completely weird. You usually see it in wet areas and stuff. So I'm going to try to get access to that this year. But let's talk about pawpaws. Why I don't have any pawpaws on my property. Well, actually I do. There's been many attempts. Let's go way back. Let's go way back with my good old buddy Jim, Nomadic Met Hunter. He brought me a gift of pawpaw trees one year, and this was back in like 2013, maybe 2012. I think it was about 2013. And he got them from another YouTuber, Philippe. And I'll put a link to both of those guys' channels down here below. And he dug them up and out on Philippe's property and brought them to me. And what's funny about them is a lot of young pawpaws are suckers. They don't have their own root systems. They're not seedlings. They grow just a straight root this way and then up, and then that's what you get. You don't really have any roots if you dig these little guys up. So none of those ones survived. None of the ones I got from Jim actually survived. I've dug up a bunch of them in the past and planted them and haven't had very much luck because usually, like I said, they're just suckers. They're little sucker plants, and they don't have any roots of themselves. So let's just say that even getting some with a little bit of roots, I've killed a lot of pawpaws. I'd rather just leave them alone, and I've had very good success transplanting things from the wild and from nature and bringing it here and even putting them in pots and doing that. But for some reason, these pawpaws, I don't know what it is, they're finicky. They're really sensitive. They don't like their roots being messed with too much, so to speak. So 2-3 years ago, I started planting pawpaw seeds everywhere. I've planted them over here in the terrace garden. I've planted them randomly throughout here and all these different places. Even in the nursery, the little seedling nursery, I had probably about 10 or 15 pawpaw seedlings about this big, and I have some over here also too. But what most people, contrary to belief that, you know, nothing messes with pawpaws, for some reason the little seedlings, the little guys, rabbits will come and take it right down to the ground. I'll just come one day and there won't be anything. There's just literally a little nub sticking out of the ground. And let me show you. Show you some. Okay. Now this here is the terraced garden all up there, and I have it mowed down here. I've got some milkweed and stuff growing in here, so I've kind of just wanted to let it go to seed and everything. Here's some of the milkweed. And yeah, little walnut. So I should have pawpaw seedlings about 1.5 to 2 feet high right here. And just this last winter, I actually took everything back except for the little pawpaw seedlings. There was about 7 or 8 of them right here, all in a row. And I mulched it. I mulched it with wood chips. You can see these are all wood chips from when I did my big round just this, within the last 6 months. And as soon as I did that, I left these guys exposed, and the rabbits came in and got them. But I've got some growing back, which isn't too bad, but you can barely see them. See this right here? That's a little pawpaw seedling. And let's see, there's a bunch more over here. Yeah. Can you see those guys right there? These are all little pawpaw seedlings. And I think I've got a couple more growing back over there, but talk about losing a couple years. Just totally losing a couple years. And I've also grown them seeds in containers. And that was going pretty good. I was actually planning on transplanting about 20 pawpaw seedlings right about now. Right about now when they start leafing out. And let me show you that. Alright, now this is just a potted container that I've had up here on the porch. And we're right here in the front yard, as you can see. And I started these guys about 2 or 3 years ago. And for the last couple years, they've done fantastic. Look at all these seedlings in here, right? And for some reason, I don't see any new growth. I don't see any little buds popping out of here. I don't see any little leaves. And I don't know what happened to it. And this is really, really good, rich soil. And it stays really moist and wet here. And it's shaded for most of the day. And I should have done it a year ago. I figured that I've had these guys in this container for about 2 years. And I don't know. Hopefully I'll get some of these to grow back. I'll start getting some buds or some leaves on them here in the next month or so, maybe coming into June. But yeah. Now this isn't the only attempt at growing pawpaws either. So for the past 6 years, transplants, digging them up, not a lot of success. Seedlings, done pretty good, but it's iffy from 1 year to the next. The ones that did make it, the rabbits got that were out in the yard. This year, the ones in the potted container haven't started growing yet. And I've also bought bare root cuttings from a few different nurseries twice. And I've planted those out in the yard, along with my other fruit trees when I get the bare root cuttings, the peaches and the plums and everything like that. And I did a bunch of orders, and I got a few pawpaws here and there. And I'd put those in the ground, water them really good. As soon as you get them, put them in the ground, everything would come back in the springtime except the pawpaws. I'd have this dead stick. Even into middle summer, when everything, pawpaws should have leaves on them, nothing. So I've done them all. I've done it all, and it's a struggle. It's a struggle getting these pawpaws to grow. And some people probably have better success than I do. I've tried at it over and over and over again. So I've got 3 little seedlings. The guy at the nursery said that they're seedlings. They've got little leaves on them, which the ones I just showed you on the porch should have. And they're growing nice. They're growing nice. They're in these containers, so it's working so far. And I'm gonna put these in the ground, and hopefully I'll have a better luck. And if they do good, maybe I'll get some more from the guy next spring if he's got them. Hopefully he's got them. So thanks for watching, and hopefully you guys have better luck with pawpaws than I do. But I know a ton of places where they're growing wild. So I might not have them on my yard, but we get plenty of pawpaws. Little extra. We're right here next to my front porch. There's the container of pawpaws that I just showed you. Now, what we would do with pawpaws when we harvest them, if a couple of them would go bad, I would just set them out here on the porch, planning, rather than have fruit flies in the house, I'd set them out here, and then I was planning on putting the seeds in the ground. But before I could do that, the possums would come, and I noticed that the possums are one of the main spreaders of pawpaw seeds, and they would spread the pawpaw seeds all over my porch. And underneath my porch, I have pawpaws. Here's a pawpaw. There's a pawpaw. And they are doing, underneath my porch, they are doing the best. These guys are fantastic. Check this out. Look at the leaves on this guy. There's another one there. Pawpaw, 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 little pawpaw. Nice redbud tree over there. Bunch of garbage and paper and stuff that's fell under here. But yeah, I even got pawpaws growing underneath my porch. Man, I just need to get the possums to spread them out in my yard. Well, I had to dig them up. I went against my better judgment, and it actually worked out pretty good. I got 4 of those pawpaws underneath the porch, and I'm going to show you those that I planted along with the ones that I bought also too, and show you how they're doing. And it's been about a week. It's been about a week. And here's one of the ones that I bought at the nursery. You can see growth is still doing pretty good. And then here's 2 of the ones that I dug up. And it's not too bad. I'm sure it'll still stay alive. There's a little bit of browning on the leaves. But this smaller one over here was one of the ones I dug up also too. And that's doing really good. Actually, that one's doing really good. This was the biggest one of them all. And I'll show you a few more that we dug up. Let's see. Over here. No, they're over there. Alright, and we've got a currant growing here, and a little tomato plant. Actually got a little tomato guy on there. Got a couple of them. See the little tomatoes. But I put one right here. Let me go on the other side so there's no big shadow. Alright. So I put another one of the little ones here, and it's doing really good. This is one of the ones that I dug up. And because they need 2 for pollination, 2 completely separate ones, I tried to plant them in pairs kind of close together. And then here's the biggest one that I got from that nursery. That's been doing pretty good. And there's a lot of new growth. You can see the new little leaves right here. Alright. And then planted one over here. Actually, no, this was the biggest one that I got from the nursery. The one that was like 3 feet tall. And look, it's already got a branch going on it. So, nice little branching on these little baby pawpaws that I got at the nursery. I'm really glad I went there and got those. And another little tomato plant. Some oregano. And you guys remember this. This is the wineberry that I dug up and put right over here next to this, next to my big peach. So, pawpaws are doing awesome. Even the ones that I dug up. The one that I thought that was going to completely die was that big one that I showed you with the really big leaves that were kind of browning. And it's actually hung in there. It could be the fact that it's rained almost every day, but yeah, we'll see. I'll keep you guys posted on that, and hopefully get some pawpaws growing out here. I'm planting them out here in the front yard where it's fenced in. There's more protection out here from the rabbits and anything else that might mess with it. And I've got these no-zones mulched with wood chips a little bit heavier than the other ones, and the other no-zones on the property, the other rows. So yeah, I should have some nice big pawpaw trees everywhere. But like I said, I've tried it all. I've done the seeds. I've done you know, the little bare root trees that you order online. I've tried that twice. I've done the seeds, and it's just one thing after another after another. But I don't give up. I'm gonna have some pawpaws here. So I got them everywhere else. I got them in the ditch, growing everywhere. You know, just driving around, you see them growing in the ditch. So I need to have some here. So thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next one. Huh? Sure. They smell good.
Look at these awesome pawpaws I got. Wow, these are yummy. This can make a smoothie for this.